So really warm welcome to all of you, to those people who've joined us live and to everybody who will watch this recording back. Absolutely delighted to have you here. I'm delighted that we're joined with Kelly. Woohoo! This is very much a joint webinar. This is not my webinar where I've invited my client Kelly Cairns along. This is content that Kelly and I really wanted to share with each of you, and as we go through it you will discover that actually by having Kelly and I in one place all together, it's like we've got all of your bases covered. We've got coaching, we've got mindset, we've got business strategy, we've got action taking, we've got technology, we've got everything covered. So it was quite a force to be reckoned with when we're actually together. So that's why, one of the reasons why we've come together on this, isn't it, Kelly?
Yeah, it is. Because that's the thing, we do, like you say, cover all bases. So I think it makes a really good team.
Yeah, definitely. And Kelly and I have been, Kelly, I think I was working with Kelly first. She became my go-to girl for everything technical and technology-wise. And then Kelly's been working with me as a client since kind of June 2017, probably.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Like properly, full on. We've had some other times when we've worked together, but like proper making magic happen in business. So we're really excited to be here. We have been in the background plotting, planning to share this content for a little while, because one of the things that you will hear from us is our own story of how we've evolved to the point where we've got to now. We've both got successful businesses, we've both created a lot of freedom in our business, and we're working with women who absolutely are our soulmate clients. But we've kind of walked away from the whole idea of hard hustle, and we both like to use the term graceful in our business, and that's why this webinar has very much been called the Graceful Solution. And we really wanted to share with women who are like us, who want to find their own way of doing business successfully and to do it in a more softer, graceful way than perhaps we hear about from other people. So that's why we've kind of come together, and very much with, as I was saying, that kind of whole package idea that Kelly and I have that years of experience. You've got my coaching and NLP skills, you've got Kelly's expertise in the technology side of things, but also from that is her wealth of knowledge of really understanding how to grow a successful business and an award-winning business. So I don't think we should let that accolade pass us by. And for those of you who haven't met me before, or you've only seen me in passing, kind of my background is that I started my business a little while ago. It's evolved to the point now where I'm working with women like Kelly who are ready to take their business to 5k a month and beyond. So it's very much women who've been in business for a little while, who've maybe got to that point where they're thinking, whoa, what else do I need to do to actually take that quantum leap in the business? And I love holding the space for women to leap and for them to soar and succeed. And that's very much kind of my story. Sue says I look like a movie star. I feel like a movie star too, darling. So we'll go with that. Yes, and if the whirling's annoying,
keep going. It's cool.
if the whirling's annoying anybody, if you can hear it, let us know. So the reason why we're here is because we are deeply passionate about supporting women to grow their awesome business. Certainly from my perspective is I spent too many years in the wilderness, like really working really hard on my business and wondering where all of the wonderful results that I kept seeing other people achieving, wondering where the heck my results were coming from. And one of my kind of big mission statements, big kind of reasons why I'm here, why I get out of bed, why I bother looking like a film star on a Sunday evening is actually I don't want other women to struggle for all of those years like I did. So that's very much where I come from in everything that I create, everything that I do in terms of working with my clients. So I'm just going to let Kelly kind of do her intro, because I know there's a lot of women on here who are from Kelly's world, and it's only fair to let us say hello to them as well.
Thanks. I know they've probably heard all my spiel before, but yeah, I'm very much like you. And I think my soulmate clients they have started the business, so whereas you kind of help them get that additional step up, whereas I kind of get them going, if you like, and then obviously, so they're not. It's that clarity. I always use the word clarity. So they are in their business. They've started their business, but they're struggling to actually get it really going and finding their soulmate clients, I guess. And very similar to you, I think I've spent so many. I mean, I've been doing this for 11 years, and I've spent so many of those. Probably, I would say maybe about 7 years of that struggling on my own, and feeling totally crap, because you see all of these people, like, you know, saying that they're amazing and they're doing it easily, and they're doing it by signing up to these crap, like 10k weeks or whatever, and thinking that they can just buy into these courses and have instant success. So I want to kind of stamp that out and say, actually, if you are in the early stages of your business, by signing up to a course like that, you're not going to get that success overnight. And it's just a waste of money. And I also just want them to realise that actually they're not alone in this journey, and they don't have to be alone in this journey. And it's okay to ask for help. And important, really, to surround yourself with people who are facing the same struggles as you. And just giving them the platform and the safe space for them to come and ask those silly questions, which aren't silly at all. So that's kind of like, yeah, that's kind of where I am at now. And obviously a lot of the guys that are on here, and for the benefit, I guess, for people who are going to watch them back and don't know who I am and what my background is, I started as a VA with no business background at all. Didn't know how to run a business, so I just fumbled through it. And up until probably last year, wasn't it? It was just very much time for money. So now a lot of my message is how I've managed to turn my business around, which is what we're going to talk about, so that I don't have to do that anymore. And also helping other people not have to do that in their business as well.
Yeah, and I think that's a really important point that you're making there, Kelly, that for all that we've called this the graceful solution, this isn't like a what do you call it, like a dummy's guide to creating X. You know, with Kelly and I, we really don't believe that there's a formula or a blueprint or something that you have to hack by in order to put something in place. What we're going to be talking about is not just our own experience, to kind of show you that actually we're probably just like you have been or are, just a couple of steps ahead of you, and to show you the things that have really made a massive difference for us, but also to really explore this idea of being graceful in your business. So what would be really fab for everybody who's here is over in the chat box, if you could let Kelly and I know whereabouts you are in your business. You know, are you more like in Kelly's camp, where you kind of new off the block, so you still feel as if you've got somewhere, you know, some stuff to learn about business, or are you over more in my camp, where you have been in business for a little while and you're ready to take your business to that next level? So that'd be really interesting. Yeah, so Sally says just starting out. Yay, just such an exciting phase to be in. I love just starting out. So yeah, let us know. It's really, I love to get this interaction from the audience, because it allows us to build our content, because it's quite organic. We have an idea of what we're sharing, but you know, we can add some stuff to it as well. So Kelly and I have definitely come a really long way in our business. In a little while, we're both going to share like our own stories. And what I wanted to kind of give you some reassurance about you're in the right place is to kind of acknowledge the key challenges that many, many women face running their own business. And, you know, I understand this from working and supporting the hundreds of women I've helped to grow their awesome business. and Kelly knows this from her own experience as well, but what we see and hear all the time is this old business model of time v money is still being used in lots of businesses, and that's not just businesses that have an online presence, but that's businesses that have an offline presence as well. And that is an exhausting business model to have. And like Kelly just shared, just 12 months ago, she changed everything in her business, and now her business and therefore her life looks completely different as she moved away from that business model. And I will specifically be sharing a business model that will really help you get your head around how to move away from that later on. The other challenge that we see is that women are so busy, like not just in business but in life as well, but in their business they're so busy being in their business is they're not giving themselves the opportunity or the space to actually look at their business and decide which direction it needs to go in and what they need to do next. And there's a real lack of clarity about what to do next and what to focus on. And what happens is we get stuck in this kind of shiny object syndrome where we can see that we're not making progress, we can see that we need to do things differently, and we start to follow people or people's solutions or people's product and thinking that this is the shiny thing that we need to do, that maybe we think we need to become a Facebook ad expert, or we need to have a podcast, or we need to have a YouTube channel, without really getting to grips with the fundamental foundation pieces which are absolutely key to growing a successful business. And what often happens, and what I see and hear from lots of women, which is really it's disappointing for women, because we are stronger than we realise we are, but so many women that I work with and speak to really feel as if they are not good enough, that they're not good enough to take their business to the next level, and they're really kind of dumbing down what it is that they can do. They haven't valued themselves or their skills or their expertise enough to be able to say, look, I am enough, I am taking my business to this next level. And there's often that feeling that actually it's only the lucky ones who can have a business like mine or Kelly. And again, tonight we're going to bust through some of those myths and really show you, that you can create whatever you want in your life and your business. And what happens to those women is that they end up playing it small. They just feel skint all the time, that there isn't this flow of money and clients coming through, that the money is like up and down, and therefore so are their feelings about the business. And actually what they have created is a business that takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, doesn't create a lot of money, and creates very little freedom. And we see, I don't know, probably 1,000 messages a day, don't we, about how much freedom you can have from these amazing businesses. And you can when you've got a certain number of things kind of in place. So let's just have a look to see where people are then. So Sally says, just starting out. Susie's working both of us now. Woohoo! Brilliant. Ruth's starting out for a year now. Brilliant. Louise is next level. Kelly is my hero. Oh, that's fantastic. Kelly, both have an existing business. Kerry, I have an existing business which I need to expand, about to launch a second business. Brilliant. Brilliant. Fantastic. And something about squirrels.
Shiny, shiny. Ruth calls them squirrels.
Yes. Yeah, lots of shiny objects. And to say that, I've just kind of outlined the key challenges that I say, and really it's not to be on my soapbox and kind of look down and say, oh well, I haven't experienced any of those things, because actually I've experienced many of those things myself. And just to kind of put it into context of where you've heard about where I am now, and you've got an idea from things Kelly and I have shared, is that business and life is quite different. But really where I started was many years ago, when I decided to take a leap of faith in myself and actually retrain to be a life coach and an NLP practitioner. And it was a massive leap of faith, because it was time and money that I had to invest in myself. I just had a little boy, so obviously I didn't have a lot of time or energy, and I didn't really know where it was going. I thought at the time it was just a personal thing, for me, and lo and behold, I didn't quite know what I was letting myself in for. But when I was going through my training as a coach, some of the training was about marketing, and they kept talking about niching, and I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to niche. Everybody needs a life coach. I'm just going to go out there to the world and just be a life coach. I'm going to have this beautiful website. It's all going to be really easy. I can give up my day job. I can stay and play with my son. And my business model is really simple. Basically, I'm going to just need 20 new clients every single month, and then that will mean that I can get rid of my corporate salary and actually have this amazing life. And that was my plan. And it didn't take very long in the real world to discover that actually trying to recruit 20 new clients every single month whilst working part-time and being a mum was actually impossible, really impossible. And I still hear from people today of them training to be in, various different roles, and hearing that training companies are still rolling that out as being the number one model to use, that this kind of whole idea of exchanging your expertise, your time for money is still something people are being taught today, and it's quite scary that that is still going on. So if this is happening for you, obviously you're in the right place. And what happened for me is that fortunately I was at the time a project manager on a large transformational programs. One of the things I was really good at was looking at a process and realising how we could make it super efficient. So then I began to create packages and offers that really allowed me to leverage my time. So then I was able to create a business that had that sense of freedom, that wasn't constantly looking for 20 new clients every single month just to be able to pay my way. So that's very much my starting point, and that's very much why I'm here tonight, to really kind of show you that if you are kind of using these old tools, that there are some smarter ways to work, and that these ways will actually get you some great results. So I'm just going to hand over to Kelly now, because I know that she's equally got an interesting story about where she's come from to the point where she is today.
Yeah, mine's kind of different to yours, because I didn't consciously start my business; it was accident. And I just had, I think it was Evan. So yeah, he was just literally, well, he was born because I was on maternity leave, and he's 11 nearly now. And I was bored. I was just thinking, I haven't got anything to speak to my friends about apart from dirty nappies and sleepless nights and what he's eating for breakfast or whatever. And I was like, I hate this, because I thought, right, I'm going to actually take a year off. But I was getting bored, and I was thinking, I really, really need to do something. So I just went on to Google before, I think, Twitter was just coming to light. I don't think even Facebook was about just then. So I went onto Google and just started Googling things that I could do from home. So I just started kind of formatting some documents for local businesses like estate agents and stuff. And that's how my business started. And I was just like, oh my God, I love doing this. So I stumbled on the term virtual assistant, which was pretty non-existent in the UK, and it was very Americanized. So I'd never heard of it before. So I kind of started building my business via America, on American forums, and that's where I got my first big client, who I had for about 5 years. And it just grew from there. And I didn't plan on finishing my job, because it was I had a really good career in the NHS. So I was like a team leader for the dental department for the whole of the North East. So I had like a really responsible role. But it was just the point where I thought, actually, I can't stop thinking about the other stuff. And I knew that I was passionate about it. And I thought, right, I can't do both at the same time, because like you, Rachel, I didn't have the time. It was difficult because I had 2 boys, and Reese was 2 and Evan was like just born. So I was like, oh my God, what are you doing? So I had to finish my job, because I just couldn't concentrate on my work anymore. And I knew that this is what I needed to do. So that's how my business was born, by accident. And I think over the last 9.5 years, I've just ploughed all my energy into supporting clients and being super busy and winning awards and doing all of that stuff and just trying to be as good as I could. But I was just in my business all of the time. And like you said, I never had that headspace because I was so busy to even think about doing other stuff and even think about actually how can I transfer the services into products that I can sell without actually working for it. And I did think about it loads of times, but then I thought, I don't know how I can actually do this. There is like, how can I transfer my VA skills into programs or passive income? I just didn't have a clue. And obviously last year, I was faced to do that because I had an illness, which meant that I had to have some pretty hard spinal surgery. And that meant that I was going to be out of my business for like a minimum of 12 weeks. So I had to do something about it. Otherwise I would have lost it all. So that's what I did. So that's kind of where I am now. And I launched my VIP club, and I've launched loads of live programs, and probably the actual hands-on work is probably about 20% of what I do now. So I've gone a whole circle, and now I've kind of taken all of August off, and still knowing that I'm getting paid for it, which is something that I would never, ever, ever think that I would be able to do.
And taking the most of August off, which is a first for you, isn't it? Yeah.
And but like, I've always been kind of forced to take holidays off because I haven't got any family, because I've moved from Wales to the northeast. So there is no extended family to help me with the children. My husband works 12-hour shifts, so it's all down to me. So I've always kind of struggled anyway. But this is probably the first time that I've been able to take August off and get paid for it.
Yay! And that's what we all want, isn't it? We all want to know that we've got a business that's rocky and rolling, that you can take time out to go and do the other things that light you up, and not just all about business, are we? We're multifaceted as people, as women. And to be able to take, know that you can take time out, you've still got money coming in, and everything's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's what Kelly and I want for our clients, is if that's something that they are passionate about and that's where you want to get to, that's exactly why we've invited you here tonight, to really kind of get into this detail with us. So I'm going to kind of take you through the first part of what we like to call the graceful solution. So how many people do planning like this? And think, okay, let's say it's September and we've got to figure out what on earth we're taking out to the marketplace. Or maybe even you were like I was in the early days, where I had all the social media and the website and everything, and I just sat there keeping everything crossed that somebody was going to land on my website and click on the work with me button and everything was going to work out really marvellously, which clearly it didn't, because I learned an awful lot about myself and how to do things properly. And this first kind of element of the graceful solution is a foundation piece. It is something that is about being completely bespoke to you as a person, because as we said right at the beginning, there's no formulas, there's no blueprints here, because what's really important is that you do business as who you are and how you want to kind of show up in the world. Now, I'm an extrovert. Kelly's a completely different person to me. So how I do business is completely different to how Kelly does business. I do a lot of my business through my business Facebook page. Kelly does a lot in her group. So it's like, we were all different. And I think that's what we've got to embrace. And there's a lot of people out there trying to tell you that there's a way to do it and then a path to get to where you want to go. But actually what we've realised through our own journeys and experience is actually the the most graceful way through this and to create the business and the results that you want is to take aligned action every day as who you are. So that is kind of your starting point for this kind of situation where we're talking about building a business gracefully. The graceful solution is really owning who you are in your business and what you want. And I talk a lot with my clients about, really tapping into your deepest desires, because these are the things that are really important to you. But kind of succinctly, what I really want for you to start to think about is, in order for you to be graceful, in order for you to be able to take that beautiful aligned action every day and to get results, is to think about, who is your soulmate client? Have you got that person absolutely nailed? Or there's some tweaks that need to be done? Is that soulmate client actually evolving? Deciding how you want to be in business, and I talk about it a lot in my group Live Your Abundant Life, about flicking the switch. So back in early 2016, when everything changed for me, when I started getting massive results in my business, it purely came down to a decision that I made. I'd spent a long time, like in the early days, it was like, woo, this is amazing, this is exciting. And then in the middle stage, it was very much like, God, this is really scary. I'm just not able to be as big or as exciting as I want to be. I'm just going to have to play it small. To 2016, when I just flicked the switch, it was like, do you know what? It's like I'm not playing it small anymore. I am here to positively impact people and help them to grow their brilliant business. And that's what I want for you to think about right now is, what is your big dream for your business and how big do you want to go? And, deciding, if not tonight, at some point afterwards, that you are here to play it as big and juicy as you want. And that definition is very personal to each and every one of us, isn't it? So, are you prepared to flick the switch and actually start to, own how big you want to be and how successful you want to be, and actually start to own that? So that's the very first part of the graceful solution for me, is really flicking that switch and deciding that actually you're all in. And, and we'll talk about mindset in a while, because obviously that's absolutely crucial. The second thing is this kind of foundation piece, and I'm going to briefly touch on this. And if you're interested in the full masterclass, there is a 60-minute masterclass I'm more than happy to share with you. Just let me know, either in the chat or afterwards. But the kind of foundation piece is about putting in place a business model that allows you to pull in graceful results from your business. So back in the early days, I decided my business model was going to be like my time, the money. However, that isn't a very graceful solution when you're constantly hustling. So actually putting in place this plan I'm going to share with you now allows you to stop planning like this and actually have complete sight of what you're looking to create in the future, how money is going to come into your business, so that you can start to get into aligned action every day to allow those things in. So previously on other marketing trainings, you would have heard about a marketing funnel that looked something like that. See, it's great. I don't need slides, I just need my hands. And the idea here is that you get a lot of people in the widest point of the funnel, and as people work through your funnel, you need less and less of them. Well, we've got a much easier way to actually share this with you. And basically, it's about thinking about your business as 3 lanes on a motorway. You've got your slow lane over here on the left-hand side, the middle lane, and you've got your fast lane. And the idea with these lanes is that actually you're calling people in at different times in your business into those lanes. And the ideas of getting people into those different lanes is that they will change lanes. So your slow lane people might become your middle lane people, who might become your fast lane people. Or your slow lane people might just accelerate straight into your fast lane. So this is a really simple way of beginning to understand how you can create offers, how you can create launches, how you can go out there and actually sell amazing things that you want to sell, that your clients want to receive, and that allows you to have this flow of clients coming through your business in a really, really simple form. So let me show you what my model looks like. So over in my slow lane, you've got offers that are under kind of £200. So they might be my one-day events that I run every quarter. They're up to about £150 those. It might be a one-off course where you receive great content but with no kind of actual support from myself. So they're what I would call my slow lane offers. And then in my middle lane, I have got two things. I've got the 5K Club, which is my membership for women who are looking to create their business to 5K a month beyond. And then I've got my masterminds, which are for people who don't really need the content. They need the accountability and the support and the space to actually take their business to, these are women like Kelly who are quantum leaping in their business and their lives. And then my fast lane, and to give you an idea of price, is that the 5K Club is like $399 for 6 months, and the mastermind is £300 a month for 6 months. And then over in my fast lane is all my VIP stuff, and that ranges from £3,000 down to £800. So that is my business model. And it's really easy for me on a month-by-month basis to not kind of put my finger in the air and guess what I'm doing, but to actually think, well, actually, I've got a launch of the club coming up. So what do I need to do in order to drive people to me? Right, okay, when was the last time I put a slow lane offer out there? Right, okay, so I'm going to put a slow lane offer out there. I'm going to drive people to that. I'm going to work with people. I'm going to deliver a load of content, and then I'm going to upsell them to the club. And that's very simply how that model works. And it also allows for you that if you are using that model of, time v money, that you can start to think about what are the packages that you can create in your business. And every single person can do this. So one of Kelly's kind of mastermind colleagues is an amazing colleague of mine, Alison Goodwin. She is a yoga teacher. And she has a number of packages that fits into this model. And the beauty of this model is that it works, it gets you powerful results, and you can create it to support you, your vision, your mission, how you want to turn up, what you want to do. So let me know if you've got any questions about this, because it's really important that you get this kind of clear in your own mind. And if you want any ideas of what those things could be in your lanes, again, Kelly and I are here, we can help you. And one of the most important things about this model is that it actually eradicates feast and famine. So what do I mean by feast and famine? Feast and famine is that point when you are working flipping hard in your business and you've got money coming in, but you've got absolutely no capacity at all to generate future leads. So what happens when that work is complete is your business takes a nosedive. And so it continues. It's this constant roller coaster, which I've been on, and it's horrible, not knowing if I had any money coming in. And what you can do with this model is actually put something in place in the middle lane, which is paid to you over a monthly basis. On a month-by-month basis, you've got money coming in. This is your baseline. So no longer are you having to think about, oh my gosh, how am I going to cover my costs because I don't know what money's coming in? You have like your signature program or membership that you are known for. And this is the money that comes into you month on month on month on month on month. And it's guaranteed. And this is one of the most exciting aspects of this particular model is eradicating feast and famine. So actually your starting point every month is like that, and that being that you've got money coming in. So let me know if this is helpful, if this is giving you some ideas about your own business. Right, okay. Oh, nice. Sally says, how could this work for my aromatherapy business, please? I like that. Right, we'll come back to you. What's a successful start date for promoting your... Right. The really important thing with this kind of idea of working gracefully is about alignment. So the most important thing is that when you are creating your offers, like your, oh my God, like slow lane offers that are like crazy, and you just want, you know, people, you putting it together, it's really exciting, you're excited about it, that is the best time to start launching it. In that space of excitement, of the fact that you are excited, you know, Kelly and I go into launches, we haven't even got a sales page. Alison, the client that we've just spoken about, she has just sold out on all her yoga retreats for 2019. She doesn't have a sales page. You don't need all this fancy stuff. If you have got momentum in your business, if you have got an aligned message, if you are aligned every day in your business, you know, I mean, it's crazy that Alison she's sold out for 2019. I mean, who would like to be in a position of selling out in 2019? So it's not like when, it's like, it's your energy. When you're excited about it, Suze, that's when you do it. You get into alignment, you get excited about your offer, and then you start to go out there. And Susie, remember the 5K Club? You've got, you know, so much content in the launch bundle about this. But energy is everything. Your energy is everything. And you can do this with the signature program. You know, you can have a signature program. Look at Kerry Green in the FEA. She's got one product. I know she's going to the stationery line, but she's got one product, the FEA. She goes out and promotes it every quarter. She just gets into alignment with it. She gets excited about it, and you can feel that excitement from her. So, aromatherapy business. Oh, this is so good. So your oh my God offers generally are like your hands-off kind of offers. This is where, you know, you may be doing a little bit of a taster session. I would say, Sally, so not knowing very much about your business, it could be that it could be like a taster session. It could be, you know, if you're selling aromatherapy oils, it could be that you send out like a sample pack for a really small price that's got a natural lead into like another offer. Your middle lane is about group offers. So, you know, is this something that you could do collectively? Is the idea there to have like a club or a library of resources that people can access, and they do that on a monthly basis? Is it about having events? You know, there's all sorts of possibilities that you can actually put in place. And then your VIP stuff. I always think the VIP stuff's like the easy stuff, because that's your one-to-one stuff. That's anything that you're doing one-to-one where people are getting the most of you. And again, with that, I would be saying that, you know, with the aromatherapy business, is that you're creating packages in there that really sit along that kind of frame. Do you have anything else that you'd like to add to that, Kelly?
No, I mean, obviously, I know Sally because she's in my VIP and I've worked with her for a little while. So I think there's two elements to Sally's business where she is trying to build her online stuff, so that she's got that passive income stuff coming in. But then she's also got the hands-on stuff in an actual location where she's doing her hands-on kind of thing. But I think, I mean, I've always tried to say to her really that you just marry the both of them, and they naturally feed in, obviously with that slow lane, middle lane and fast lane, that they naturally just feed in anyway. And you can bring obviously your people who you work with hands-on face-to-face into your online world.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So I think it's just understanding how all of that comes together. And it's difficult, isn't it, when you are working hands-on, to come up with ways of doing it in the way that I now know that you also do naturally, because I found it really difficult to think of ways of transferring my hands-on skills to the way that I now work.
Yeah, definitely.
It's alien. And I know, especially with Sally, because I think the whole like Facebook and online marketing thing is really new to her.
Yeah,
I think it's a different way of working.
But also to reframe that is that it's an exciting tool to use in your business, so you can potentially reach so many of your clients as well. Yeah, okay, so Sally says it's the online bit she can't seem to find ideas for. I was listening to a podcast from the lady who created Spanx, and apparently she was forever looking for that one big idea. And she tried all sorts of different things, and then obviously it was Spanx when she cut off the legs of her tights to give her that seamless Bridget Jones moment. And sometimes the ideas come upon us when we least expect it. So it's about being open to exploring, and even if you're just nailing your slow lane offers and your fast lane offers, it could be that actually what you end up doing is, let's say that your slow lane offers is like you're sending out different samples, you're targeting people who may be sleep deprived or have stress issues, and you have different packages. Well, that could then become like a Birchbox type approach to aromatherapy. That could become your online offer, where somebody is able to go in and say, well, this month, these are the things that I'm feeling, and you create a bespoke box for them. So there's all sorts of things that you can do. It's just keeping your mind open and exploring the possibilities. But I would say in the meantime, to really dip your toe in the market, on the online market, is create some offers over in the slow lane that's specifically for people online, and see what comes up, what resonates. Kelly and I didn't get here overnight. We didn't wake up one day, jump out of bed and go, bingo, we know all the answers. It was a process of evolving. So I hope that's helpful, Sally. Brilliant.
Yeah, and Rachel, that's kind of how my VIP was launched, because I was doing videos for clients and training them, and instead of obviously being able to sit there and show them how to do stuff, I was recording the videos as tutorials for them, and then I packaged some of them up as one-off courses, and eventually that grew, and I thought, actually I've got all of this content that I can just shove into a membership club, put them in a group, and so that I'm there to support people, give them a call every month so I can hold them accountable. And that's how my membership club was born.
I love it. And the thing is, it is a case of just playing with it, being playful, and knowing that you might come up with things that are a great idea at the time, but they don't come off. But it's like, take lessons from it. Kerry's already telling you what she'd love to hear. So Suze has got a bit of a self-belief thing going on, saying that she can't believe that somebody would come and pay £97 for her. Well, the first thing, and we'll talk about this later on, but the first thing you need to work on is on your belief on yourself and valuing yourself. You could charge £2,000 for that half-day workshop. The price isn't the price isn't the issue. The issue is your belief in yourself.
Yeah, I had somebody, one of my current mastermind ladies. I'd never heard of her before. She was in my Facebook group, and she's obviously been watching what I've been doing, and up come this payment for my mastermind, and she signed up. She's never bought anything. I think she might have signed up to one of my freebies. She was in my Facebook group, but never bought a single thing, and she's paid into one of my highest products. So it is all about mindset.
Yeah, you never know. Yes, you get the most unlikely people come forward and work with you. I put an offer out to my email list March time about working with me VIP for 8 weeks. I think it was 8 weeks, and I got a PayPal payment, and I was like, what? Normally, if you're getting into a conversation with somebody spending a lot of money with you, working one-to-one, you have to get into like a discovery call, but that's just a belief that I had. There's also something else as well. Let's talk about belief now then, and then we'll hand over to Kelly, and she'll kind of talk about her element to this. Is the other belief is, when I first opened the doors to 5K Club, I was selling it for £199 because when I looked over my payments, what people were paying for, I could see that £199 for my audience was like really easy for them to find. So I was like, oh, right, I'm making £199 like my new normal. So, loads of people joined, loads of people spent £199. So I thought, well, that's really interesting, because actually I don't want it to be £199. I want it to be higher than that. So then I decided that £399 was going to be my new normal for the club. So like I said, it's like flicking the switch. It's about making the decisions. It's not about what the money is at all. So I hope that's helping, Suze. Now, so the kind of second element that I was going to touch on with regards to the Graceful solution is mindset. When in 2016 I flicked my switch, I tripled my income that year. And it came down to the fact that I was teaching mindset to my clients and not actually taking it myself. And apparently this is very common for entrepreneurs to be teaching the thing that they need to actually learn themselves. So I decided that I was going to have this daily mindset practice. It was like a religion to me. The children would come into my bedroom first thing, because people say, oh, I haven't got time to do mindset. And I'm like, well, this is what happens in my house. My children appear. I'm doing my mindset work, whatever that is, and they get that, and they're told to get into bed, and they're quiet. And it's not until I close my book that they're allowed to speak to me. My son generally is in bed now only because he wants my iPad to play Fortnite. So he's patiently sat there like that. Will she stop writing? So I can ask her for the iPad. But my point is that 80% of success is mindset. And I totally agree with that statement, because, every time I've had a leap in my business, it's when I've really, really worked on my mindset, when I've really wanted something. And this is, part of the Graceful solution is that I write about how I want to be in my business, how I want to feel about my business, how graceful and easy I want it for clients to come to me. And I was trying to explain this to my mum over the weekend, and she really was not getting it at all, which I find really amusing. But I know that for some people who might be hearing this, might think it's a load of bananas. But from my experience, I'm not going to get into the woo-woo about it, but for me, it's very much about getting clarity about what it is that you really want. There's a lot of things out there that we can say that we want, but it's about getting clarity about what you really want. And with that clarity comes focus. I get my biggest aha moments about what to do next in my business from that. I write about how I want business to feel, because in the past, business felt really difficult, felt really hard, and I decided that I didn't want to do that. And what that's about is it's about reminding yourself, programming yourself to constantly looking for opportunities to make yourself feel easy and graceful, or whatever your words are. And the third is about really opening yourself up. How many times have you been faced with the opportunity, but because you've not been working on your mindset, you've actually said no rather than yes? So it's those three things that, for me, mindset is absolutely key. And mindset can be many things. For me, it's journaling. And just to give you like one exercise for you to use, is one that I use again over Live Your Abundant Life, my Facebook group, lots of times, is where I get people to talk about their new normals. It's normal for me too. And it's about moving away from all of the mind monkeys, all of the squirrels, all of the things that you're telling yourself constantly that you can't do, you can't have, it's too hard. It's flipping that over and opening yourself up to opportunity and the ability to say yes, and looking for options and making a choice, and purely programming yourself to only think, feel, and consider the graceful way to do business, rather than the hard, difficult, frustrating way that I used to do business. So if you've got any questions about mindset, I'd be really happy. And that exercise is really easy. Just get a blank piece of paper, and you write out all the things that you want to be your new normal. You can do this in business to get you started. And if you want to see a video about that, I have got one pinned to the top of Live Your Abundant Life. You can go and have a look at that. So I'm just going to hand over to Kelly, and she's going to talk about her element of the Graceful solution and what that is for her in her business.
Yeah, I think it's going back to that blueprint of not following anybody else's path and not following what somebody tells you that you have to do, and it's finding a way that works for you. Because, as you say, I'm an introvert and I'm not as out there as a lot of other people. So I've just found a way that works for me. So I decided to grow my own Facebook group, because that was my safe space, and it was my space to surround myself with people that I knew that I can help, and people who I know that needed my help, but equally to provide a space for those people to feel safe and supported when they're feeling really lost in building their online business. And I think for me, that's how it's worked as being an introvert, because I don't have to go out to the big wide world, so to speak. So I very rarely do lives on my Facebook page because I can't control who's watching still. So I do it in my Facebook group, and that works, and that's how I've made it work for me. But I think the key element is to show up every day. People will get distracted by life, and they'll say to me, well, I haven't had time to do my social media, or it takes me too long to write a post, or it takes me too long to create an image. And then they don't do it at all, and then it's like a week gone by, and then they'll say, well, I'm not making any sales. And it's actually, you don't have to spend loads of time creating images. You don't have to sit there and think about all of the posts that you're going to do over the next week. It's about just showing up in your business every single day, even if it's just going into your group or going onto your Facebook page and asking a question. And key to that is knowing who your soulmate client is and having that complete clarity. Because I think if you were sitting there struggling about what you are putting on your social media, then you really probably haven't grasped who your soulmate clients are, because it shouldn't be that difficult. You should know what they struggle with. So if you haven't to sit there and think too long about it, I think you need to go back and have a think about, actually, do I know who my soulmate client is? Do I know who I want to work with? And what are they actually struggling with? Because then the content will come easy, and then the products and your slow lane and your middle lane and your fast lane stuff would come easier to you as well, because you know exactly what they need and what they are struggling with. So I think the key thing, as I say, is showing up every day. Because when I had my operation last October, I was showing up doing Facebook Lives from my sofa days after having my operation, because I knew that I still needed to show up. And I remember having a conversation with you, Rachel, didn't I? I was like, oh my God, like, how do I tell these people, these ladies in my group, that I'm not going to be there to support them because I'm going off having an operation? And you said to me at the time, just tell them. And that was kind of like a massive turnaround, I think, in them trusting me and believing in me, because they knew that I was really true to myself. And then obviously true and kind of, I don't really like the word authentic, but yeah, authentic, in that I'm only showing up as me and as aligned as myself and true as myself. And I think people worry about showing up not as themselves, and you need to show up as yourself. You can't pretend to be anybody else. So you have to be comfortable in being you. And then that's going back to what you were sort of saying about the mindset stuff, isn't it? And it's about not having the mind monkeys and being comfortable and confident in your own abilities and what you can do and offer the people that you want to work with. So I think that's the biggest message, is to just show up, and show up how you feel comfortable. So if somebody's saying to you, you have to do Facebook Lives, and you don't feel that you can do them, then just do something else. Like, you don't have to do things that everybody's telling you. You can do podcasts if you don't like videos, but as long as you're kind of showing up and being consistent with your message and getting in front of the people that you want to work with every single day. Because there's no point doing it once a week, because it's a noisy world online. So we're constantly fighting against everybody else's content. So you have to be doing it every single day, because otherwise you just kind of peeing in the wind, if you like. It's just pointless. It's just wasted.
It's much a bit this, isn't it?
Yeah. And we do fall in that. I could have fell in that trap and said, right, I'm not going to go on Facebook, or I'm not going to do any marketing because I look like absolute crap and I look like death, but I still did it. We have to do it. We are running our own businesses, and we have to take action every day to make it work, because it's not easy. It doesn't come to us. We can't do our mindset stuff and our affirmations and all of this kind of work and expect it to fall from the ceiling into our lap. It doesn't work like that.
No, you definitely have to take action. Aligned action every single day. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, if we were Marks and Spencer's, we wouldn't go offline because one of the directors had an operation. You know, they keep on running out Marks and Spencer adverts. You know, and I think so many times female entrepreneurs, in particular, they hide behind a lot of things, and it is the lack of action that holds them back, along with their belief about what they should price, who were they, and being good enough.
Yeah,
definitely. And it really, I mean, if you look at your results from your group, how many people did you have when you started to grow your group?
I think I had something like 120 in there, but then a lot of them were men, so I took them out because I knew that I just wanted to work with women. So I took them out. I asked people if they wanted to stay. I told them the new direction, because it was something about the Facebook group was a group so that we can all share our Facebook pages and try and get our Facebook pages growing. So obviously took a complete different direction. So I invited those to stay and I invited them to leave. So I think it went down to about 40 in the end.
Wow, it went down to 40, and what are you up to now, a year on?
It's nearly 1,600.
Woohoo! And you know, Kelly's not on there like 7 hours a day. This is a strategy. And there's that lovely saying, isn't it, that success is created on purpose. Kelly got the fire in her belly because she knew she wanted to change direction, change up everything that was going on for her. And she got clarity, she got support, she was held accountable, and she's transformed her business results. It's absolutely awesome.
Yeah, but you know, I think it's because I started believing in myself, though. I think if I was stuck in that, oh my God, I can't do it, I'm not good enough, and who am I, then I probably wouldn't have a business, because I wouldn't have been able to work. So I would have lost it all. So I needed that kind of kick up the arse to say, actually, I am good enough. I've got awards. I've been doing it for so long. I've got the experience. So why can't I?
Yeah. So that's the way that you're motivated. And it's different for every single one of us. Sometimes, you know, it's like other people are motivated because they've just decided it's not going to be this way anymore, or perhaps they suddenly have to earn some more income because their family needs it, or they've decided to move house or something massive like that. And, you know, we all need to know the reasons why we're actually showing up in our business, and we need to go do it. Now, Kelly and I we have, as I said, we are the full package. You know, you look at Kelly and I, we've both got that kind of business expertise. We've got mindset, we've got money, we've got visibility skills, coaching skills, mentoring skills, technology skills. And for a long time, I've said to Kelly, there is something here where we can come together in a joint way, and we didn't know what it was going to be. So again, going back to Sally, who was like, well, you know, what is it that I do? We didn't know what this joint thing was going to be. And then actually it was like, well, this is what it's going to be. And what we've decided to do is that we're going to kind of shake up the world a little bit, which is really exciting. And the way that we're going to do that is, I've done something. Let me just share what it is, and it ended the meeting then. That would have been really helpful, wouldn't it? So what we've decided to do is, what I mean about shake up the kind of world is that there are so many programs out there, aren't there? Like create your signature program membership club in 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. And we were like, well, actually, what would it be like if we gathered together a group of gorgeous, awesome women and actually worked with you like in a beautiful space for a period of time? What could we actually help them to achieve? So we've decided that in early November, we're going to run our very first business retreat where we're going to lovingly hold the space for a very limited number of women who are going to come together and work with us on creating that middle lane of the kind of graceful solution. We are going to help you eradicate feast and famine from your business and from your life. Just imagine what that would be like. You know, what would it be like for you? And, you know, come and tell us in the chat what it would be like for you to know that every month you have this baseline of income coming through. And that's what Kelly and I have both put into our business. That's what we help them for our clients to do this. So instead of taking like 6 weeks, we're going to do it. We're going to nail it for you in 2 days in the most gorgeous setting. So we have been on the hunt for the perfect setting, and we found it in Middleton Lodge, which is this beautiful location. And over those 2 days, we're going to come down, we're going to hunker down. It's November, we're going to be there with our woolly jumpers on, with the fire lit, and we're going to be looking at your big ideas and how to take it to the marketplace. And we're going to be helping you actually create this. You know, you might even launch it on those 2 days. And it's about creating space for busy women who haven't got the time, who can't make the time normally to work on their business. We're going to kind of take you away from your business. We're going to take you into this gorgeous setting and nourish you with everything that you actually need. And we've put aside the entire farmhouse where you're going to be like staying and working in. And it's so beautiful, isn't it, Kelly?
Yeah, oh, it's like Alice in Wonderland, isn't it?
Oh, it's
I was just like, oh, I want to stay. I didn't want to come away.
Yeah, it's like, this isn't where we live, really. So this is the farmhouse. There's 6 bedrooms there. The other 2 bedrooms are going to be over in the courtyard where Kelly and I will be staying. And this room, this farmhouse kind of space that we'll be working with in is kind of our space for 2 days, day and night, to actually work on your business. It's just going to be absolutely amazing. So Kelly, you're just going to run through what we're going to cover and why like 2 is better than 1 and why 2 days is better than 6 flipping weeks. You know, that kind of getting distracted malarkey is going to disappear, isn't it?
Yeah. I think, do you know what? I think online programs are amazing and they do serve a purpose, but I think sometimes we just get distracted by stuff. We get distracted by family. We kind of get in our own heads as well when we are working on our own. And sometimes we just want to work with other people, don't we? We want to kind of have that kind of two-way communication, because I know for me, when I came down to York to your live day, that's when the VIP club for me came to fruition. That's when it was born. I had the idea, but everything just worked. And then the next day I came home, created it and launched it. Now that wouldn't have happened. Yeah. And that wouldn't have happened if I was working on a live, like on a program, because I would have just sometimes maybe not turned up or did it half-heartedly. And I think as well, our daily lives are just so busy that we deserve time out away from it. And what better way to do it than this? And kind of working with people who are in the same situation as you and having the time to be able to kind of pick our brains and have both our expertise there and then for the whole, 2 and a bit days?
Yeah, 2 and a bit days.
Yeah.
So we'll be looking at like your vision and your mission, really getting you into that lovely kind of taking alignment, knowing, you know, totally knowing who your soulmate client is, totally knowing what your products and services are, and then just really working through the technical aspects of that, because that's the bit that's often missing, isn't it? It's like, well, that's great, but how do I pull it together?
How do you actually do it?
We invite you to bring your laptops with you and actually be plugged in, actually doing the work. And like I said, you could well be, you know, Sue's asked that question right at the beginning, is like, when do you launch? It's like, well, actually, if we get you all stoked up like Kelly did in that one day event with me, it could well be that actually you launch there and then, and we get into taking action. And that's what Kelly and I are absolutely fabulous at, is actually getting women into taking action.
And I think, you know, we've both heard it, haven't we, where people have gone on to retreats and never really getting something from it, apart from maybe feeling revitalized and enjoying the time away, and maybe a bit of networking. But I think for us, what's important for whoever comes along to this is that they actually take something tangible away with them. It's not about just turning up and having a break, which it is amazing to do that, and I'm looking forward to that myself. But it's being able to come away and say, look, I've created this and I'm going to go and sell it now.
And I know how to sell it, and I know how to launch it as well. That's the
everything.
aspect is that we don't want you to have this brilliant idea, get really revved up about it, and then actually just nothing happens.
Yeah. And that's really important. I know that's really important for the two of us, that you don't come away thinking, right, what now? You have everything in place so that you can get home, and even if you're there, you can get it sent out to the big wide world. And you know how to do it, because I'll show you how to do it, like put the sales pages together and all the techie bits together. Rachel will get in your head to give you the confidence to be able to go and do it, and the strategy and everything. And I think it's like, if I rewinded myself a year ago and this opportunity came up, I'd be like, yay.
And this is the best kind of offer, isn't it? It's the offer where you go, oh my God, this is what our clients actually need. And I can understand it might feel daunting to take 2 days out, but actually, if you think about it, after those 2 days, you would have your product, your signature product, sorted, mapped out. You'd have a launch plan, you'd know how to sell, you could have, you know, perhaps even been experimenting with your own sales approach, you know, how to sell gracefully, what is that approach for you. Certainly done some mindset work and a lot of action planning. So actually, you're going to walk away from those 2 days with more work than you've probably ever been able to do on your own business on your own. And it's the women that, you know, not only will you have Kelly and I, but it'll be the other women who will be part of that retreat, who will really inspire you with their own stories and the things that they're setting the world on fire with as well.
Yeah. And I think it's important that it's only going to be a small group. So there's 8, isn't there? And there's, 10 including me and you?
Yeah, just 8. That's all we're looking for, is 8 women to put their hands up to come in and work with us in early November. This isn't about like bums on seats. This is about getting to know you, being able to really hold that space for you. In the farmhouse, there isn't just this space. There's other breakout spaces where, you know, we can work with you like jointly, individually, or you've got space and the time to actually work on through things yourself as well.
Yeah,
it's going to be awesome. So, like when we were looking at this, it was like, we want to make this affordable. We want to make it accessible. We don't want to put something together that's so good that actually the price is the only thing that actually would stop somebody from coming and signing up. So we've decided that this very first business retreat that we are hosting together is going to be £700 per person. And if you think about my signature program, which is the 5K Club, which is £399, well, I'd only have to sell 2 seats to actually get my money back to make that like a brilliant return on investment. So in terms of when you're looking at pricing and how to invest in your business, one of the things I want you to think about is, what is the return on investment for you? You know, how quickly can you get that money back? So what we've done actually is to make it really juicy, because we want women who are action takers, and we'll know that you're an action taker if you join us before the 17th, and we will give you an early bird price of £600. £600 for your signature program, 2 days away. Everything's included. When you come, you're not having to then find money to pay for the accommodation. Everything's included. There is like all your food and non-alcoholic refreshments are included. We are nourishing not just your business, but we're nourishing you as well. So if you pay in full, you will also get a bonus of 30 days coaching, either with myself or Kelly. And you can take that like prior to the event or 30 days after the event. It's completely up to you. And then in terms of you, if you're thinking, I want to do this, but £600 right now is a bit of a stretch, we have made it super, super, super accessible by breaking down the payments by £166.66 over 4 payments. There are a couple of T's and C's. Both of those options include a non-refundable deposit, because obviously Kelly and I need to secure the hotel, so that's money that we equally have to pay out. So there is some FAQs, all the details are on here, and then there's words from our amazing clients, just a few of them, to kind of let you know what it would be like coming and working with us. Now I can see that we've got some questions. Let me just go to this. So we've got 4 questions. Let me just go into this. Okay. So Ruth's having to dash off.
Because Ruth's in Canada, you see, so it'll be a bit of a stretch.
Oh, that's amazing. So has anybody got any questions from anything that Kelly and I have shared from today's webinar, or anything about the retreat? What I was going to say about the retreat is, if you're thinking, oh, tempted, but I've got some questions, obviously Kelly and I, we want you to just have a chat with us. You know, you're not going to get a hard sell from us. You know, we are looking for women who are ready to take the next leap in their business, who are ready to flip the switch, who want to eradicate feast and famine, but who are equally able to take action. The dates in November, Louise, are we
I haven't got them on the page. I couldn't remember, and I forgot to ask you what date it was.
Right, we will confirm that. It's the early part of November, isn't it? It's like the 2nd and 3rd, or 7th and 6th.
Is it that early? Hang on.
I'll keep filling whilst Kelly has a look at that. But we've done it in early November. We've tried to miss any half terms or anything like that that's going on. But yeah, it is only for 8 people. And if you're thinking, I really do want to explore this, just come and have a chat with Kelly and I. Just ping us a personal message after this and let us know, or drop us an email. We don't want you sat in your business umming and ahhing about this on your own. You know, let's see if we are a good fit in the first place. Let's just have a conversation. It's never going to be a hard sell, because we want women on the retreat who want this, who want to be there. I mean, this place is so special. I can't tell you how special it is. It's just on Scotch Corner on the A1. So it's kind of, it's up north, but it's very accessible, most definitely. And if you don't have access to a car, but you can get to like where Kelly and I are, obviously you can travel up with us. So it's not, you know, it's not an impossible thing, but it is so beautiful, so idyllic is this place. It's very off the beaten track, most definitely. It's a very special place. But what's going to be really special, more special, is the work that we do with you whilst you're there.
Yeah.
Have you discovered the dates, Kelly?
It's the 19th and the 20th.
So not the 2nd and the 3rd at all?
No, because you've got half term that week. It was initially that week.
Yeah. So it's the 19th and the 20th of November. Yeah.
Which actually I'm pleased about, because hubby's having to go to Italy for work that week. So I'm pleased we didn't book it. So it worked out well. So yeah, so it's the 19th and the 20th.
Of November, which will come around really fast, and we were like galloping towards the midpoint of August. But again, for us, you know, you might be thinking, well, it's a bit early to be talking about it now, but we wanted to put in place those long payment plans as well. So any questions about the retreat, anybody got any questions about the content that Kelly and I have shared today, let us know as well. And if there isn't, I will say goodnight and go and get some dinner.
All quiet.
Brilliant. Okay, so maybe no questions right now. Again, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to process everything that has been spoken about, you know, and you need that time to process it. So I'm going to say a very warm thank you for being here. A warm thank you to everybody who watches this back. Kelly, would you like to say?
Just thank you as well, I guess. Yeah, it's been, I mean, it's nice, isn't it? It's nice for ladies to come on and hear about us, and just hopefully that they've taken a lot of way to think about how they can implement what we've talked about into their business.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Kelly. You are always, as always, awesome. I'll see you tomorrow now. Mastermind call.
Oh, yeah.
All right, everybody, have a really fabulous evening, and we look forward to connecting with you all again soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.